Good evening, fellow patrons. In today's video, I'm going to break down an extremely quick and easy way to reach round 100 on Paradox Junction. In my opinion, this is one of, if not the easiest map to reach 100 on, and it's nowhere as tedious as the Astra Malorum round 100 strategy I used in February. I will break down the best loadout, augments, and mid to high round strategies I used in my match, so that you can too. Let's get after it. There isn't really a strict loadout and augment lineup that you have to run in order to be successful in this strategy. I will go over the builds of the guns I used in my match and the characteristics of the builds that you should emulate in your match. The only essential loadout weapon you need to have equipped is the slug version of the SG-12. Here's the build I used in my game. It's important to note that I have the ADS stock equipped instead of the mobility stock. You almost always ADS when firing this weapon, so this stock will give you more separation from the zombies. For your second weapon, I would highly recommend an SMG equipped with the Fireworks ammo mod. The Raiden has one of the best prestige attachments in the game. The stock you see on screen provides a massive bump to movement speed and the hip spread of your tac stance. It's good to have a fast fire rate gun in this slot because you are essentially just shooting it until you get Fireworks to activate. Don't worry too much about the low damage per shot numbers. Once you get into the high rounds, you want to switch the SMG out for a pistol, such as this Jaeger build. This is so that you can easily activate Fireworks in last stand to trigger equivalent exchange in case you go down. You can really use any pistol though, as you have plenty of time to deal damage in last stand. In the third slot, you will need to prioritize ease of firing so that you can activate Lightmend as quickly as possible, so you can get an overcharge to your HP and then quickly switch back to your more lethal weapons. I used this Akita build from about 50 to 75, and then I was lucky enough to roll the explosive crossbow. Either will work for the duration of the game. In terms of augments, I would recommend starting your game with Dying Wish on Quick Revive. If you use all three activations, save and quit, and then equipped equivalent exchange for the remainder of the game, Citrus Focus from Elemental Pop is essential, as we will be cycling through our weapons to activate certain ammo mods in order so that they can efficiently cool down. The Mule Kick augments such as Free Throw and BOGO are essential, as you will be purchasing a lot of decoys at the crafting table. I will include a short video with all of my augments I ran for this match. I began my match camping at this location on the greenhouse awning, and if I were you, I would not camp at this location at all. I am not sure if Treyarch made some change to how zombies scale this awning, but it seemed like they were able to push my player around pretty often when they would come from behind me. When I beat the Dark Heart in the 60s, I used this spot to progress the rounds until the late 50s, and it was much calmer than what you see in this gameplay at round 40. So once you are set up with your guns and perks, you should start with the strategy you see on screen now, instead of camping on the awning. Every round you should start on the semi-truck trailer. You need to be on the lookout for the lead shock mimic. You need to eliminate it first prior to throwing any decoys, as they will destroy any that you deploy. You want to eliminate the mimic, not charm it, so I would recommend shooting a zombie or radhound until you get the activation to trigger. In this particular round, there was not one that spawned in, but that is why you see me frantically looking around the map. Once the cul-de-sac is mimic free, you can deploy a decoy pretty much wherever. You will then need to switch to your secondary gun with the Fireworks ammo mod. Typically you can get 2 flares to activate almost back to back every 90 to 120 seconds, depending on the augments you have equipped. Once the flare takes out the horde surrounding the flare, hop back onto the trailer and allow around 5 seconds to allow the next wave to spawn in. I typically will shoot my third gun until I see Lightmend activate, throw a decoy, and then I will empty one clip of the SG-12 before mantling the trailer for the third time. I thought Shadow Rift ammo mod on my melee would activate much more frequently than it did. It's honestly not worth the risk of trying to activate it, so I would advise against doing this. After you empty the clip of the SG-12, repeat the process and swap to your Firework ammo modded weapon. I really only used the traps at this stage in the match if there were a few zombies left at the end of the round, so I could save the activations of my ammo mods for the next round. I kept the Rampage Inducer on until round 70 and did the same strategy until I believe 75 or 76, which is when I switched to the next variation of the strategy that I will explain next. If you find yourself having just one decoy at the beginning or middle of a round, just deploy it and make a break for the crafting table instead of trying to shoot your weaponry to activate an ammo mod. If you start taking an uncomfortable amount of damage from the zombies, you can always start this variation earlier. Just be mindful of the essence you are spending. The high round variation of this strategy makes consistent use of both traps. You will start each round like before, on the trailer. Your goal remains to eliminate the mimic first before you do anything else. As you see in the gameplay, I fall down accidentally trying to shoot it. If this happens, don't force your way back into the cul-de-sac. Find open space and then use the combat axe and the hot foot augment from Stamina Up to create yourself a speed boost that can get you back to the cul-de-sac. Also, don't be afraid to slide directly into zombies or radhounds with Tribologist. If you make direct contact with the incoming zombie, the explosion will either kill it or cause it to fall down. You won't take any damage. Once the mimic is eliminated, throw your decoy and trigger the fireworks ammo mod. However, instead of remaining in the cul-de-sac, we will be waiting for an opening to the yellow house garage trap switch. Once you see an opening, jump off the trailer and activate the switch. Do not linger inside the house. Immediately sprint up the deck stairs, mantle the railing, and be prepared to either throw a combat axe or use Tribologist to clear your way through the side lawn. The goal is to re-enter through the activated trap as many times as possible before it shuts off. The traps last 90 seconds. If there is not an opening, throw a decoy and try to activate one of your ammo mods until you see one. Once the yellow house trap shuts off, do the same process, but go through the greenhouse and not immediately up the stairs like we did at the yellow house. The zombies spawn in faster in this side yard, and if you try darting out of the backyard too quickly, you may run into a wall of zombies. As you can see, the ammo mods and the two traps sufficiently complete the 100th round, so the rounds go by fairly quickly.
Ah, Minky! How wonderfully amazing!
When the dogs spawn in at higher rounds, use all of your decoys while you are on top of the trailer. You should be able to clear almost the entire round after deploying all three, like you see me do here in this gameplay. And that's it, that's the strategy. It's actually pretty fun to jump around the entire map all the way to round 100, while constantly setting off fireworks. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be doing another round 100 guide after this one. I have the footage of the strategy I used to reach round 100 on Astra Malorum from back in February. I just never got around to finalizing the video. Even after a few updates, that same strategy will work today. Or I could make a video on reaching round 100 on Ashwood Survival first. Which video would you guys prefer I make first? Please let me know. See y'all in the next one. JJet out.